Hello everyone and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7, and today we will be continuing through another few of these menu books until we have finished them all. I don't know how many more episodes that will be until they're all done, but we will continue through. I should probably explain where this series has been because it's been quite a few videos since the last Gran Turismo one, but basically I've decided to do these Gran Turismo videos every Saturday. Or it could potentially be late Friday depending on where you are in the world, but yeah, that is the plan going forward, and then it will give me basically all the rest of the weekdays to work on Formula 1 game videos, because there's a lot I want to do in F1 2021 before F1 22 comes out. So yeah, basically yeah, this will be a once a week thing, and for F1 I can basically spend the rest of the week on those. But anyway, our first task in this episode of Gran Turismo 7 is to take a photo of our car in Scapes. So that is exactly what we are going to do. So I ended up taking a number of photos, and here are a couple of my favorites. We have the tutorial one, actually, the region-specific livery Toyota on the Great Ocean Road. That's why the background is blurry, by the way, because that's what it tells you to do in the tutorial. But anyway, we have the same car at Port Arthur, which is in Tasmania. We have a Nissan Silvia in front of a Japanese castle. I've forgotten the name of it, unfortunately, but it is an awesome-looking thing. I love Japanese castles; they're just amazing-looking structures. So yeah, had to make use of that scape. And finally we have the Toyota Supra GT500, very famous car, at a Japanese shrine. Again, I've forgotten the name of it, but it's just in front of the Torii, which is that massive gate structure there, which is at most, if not all, Japanese shrines. Very awesome looking things, and I love this scape and this picture as a whole. I spent a little bit of time with this one, maybe too much. Well done! Are you happy with the photo you took? Wow, Luca, your voice has really changed since last time. Okay, that was weird. Don't know where that voice came from. Anyway, that is a job done for the Scapes. And Scapes is where I've been taking a lot of the photos for the thumbnails as well. I use Scapes or Scapes movies, or occasionally it's just a replay photo, but usually it's one of those two things. But anyway, we get the Trial Mountain circuit now, which is awesome. Very popular track, as well as the Trial Mountain Cup for our next menu book. So let's go and check that out. So there it is, Championship Trial Mountain Cup. So let's see what the requirements and prizes are. As ever, we need to finish in the top 3, and the prizes are the Fuji International Speedway along with Autopolis, both circuits in Japan. So let's just get into it. So for this championship we do need to use an American car, so our weapon of choice will be the Chevy Camaro ZL1 1LE package 2018. I think we won that in the previous episode, so it's brand new, and we are going to do a bit of work to it before we get into the championship. And that work has brought it up to almost 700 pp, so it should be nice and competitive now. But anyway, let's get into the racing at Trial Mountain. 2 races, both the same circuit once again, so yet to get to any varied championships. But anyway, this one is going to be a big one. Starting down in 12th position, we have plenty of ground to make up in this race, so let's get into it. And away we go then for the Trial Mountain Cup, and immediately it seems we have a very good straight line speed in this car, so let's try to make use of that. Go a little bit off circuit, a little bit too much straight line there, not enough cornering, but nonetheless we keep things under control, and we've already moved ourselves up and into 9th position so far, so making very good progress through the field at this stage. We'll be making that 8th in the not too distant future, as we're catching up already to the next car around the outside, and we'll find a bit of space there and get the job done, and up into 8th position, clipping the inside wall there a little bit, but doesn't slow us down too much. We continue on our merry way, and onto the back straight. We should be able to make huge ground along here, trying to get a straight run with no traffic in front of us, and we immediately are gaining positions at left, right and centre. You can see the older spec cars maybe don't quite have the straight line speed of the newer ones, but with some upgrades for us in this car already, just as a base car being quite competitive, it's not really a fair comparison with those. So yeah, there's that too, I suppose. But anyway, we continue and make our way up into 3rd position, so almost to the front now, as we go for a dive and make that one stick into the wall slightly, but we end up losing that position. So they can fight back when we make mistakes, so we'll have to be careful not to make too many of those towards the end, but we move ourselves back up into 2nd, and now just have one car left in front. They seem to have a bit better pace than everyone else. There's a bit of a gap, so we need to be a little bit wary of them as we make a blatant shortcut of that last corner. Probably don't need to do that, to be honest, with the pace we have, but anyway, that's what I did nonetheless. Made up for it in the last corner by just completely getting it wrong and hitting the wall there. But anyway, onto the 2nd and final lap now, and let's see if we can chase down the race leader. With the pace we have, I don't imagine this will be particularly difficult. Even through the corners, we are looking very, very good, and we end up making an easy move around the outside and getting the job done there, and moving ourselves up into the lead. Onto the end of the race now, and we'll take this last corner a little bit more properly. This time still a lot of understeer through the right-hander. I'll need to practice that one a bit to get it right, but nonetheless we've done the job here, and we're going to cross the line to win the first race in the Trial Mountain Cup. We're going to move straight on to the 2nd race then, because let's be honest, this is going to be an easy championship. So let's just get to it as we... Sorry, getting distracted by the music there. As we... yeah, we've got an overpowered car for this one. Probably didn't need to do too many upgrades to it, but yeah, it happens. Anyway, let's... get going then. This one is in reverse direction, and it looks like we'll have the sunset to deal with, so bad visibility around a few parts of the track this time. That adds just another little factor to contend with. Straight away blazing past the first one or maybe even 2 cars as we go late on the brakes. We'll just about sneak up the inside, probably do a bit of damage to a very expensive car, and there we go again. Got to make sure we hit every car on the way past. That's just how this goes. But anyway, let's move on from that up into 9th position so far, and we'll soon try to make that number go even higher, or lower actually. We want that number to go all the way down to 1. But anyway, we will make more overtakes, another one around the outside. No, we can't quite get there. And this part of the track is super weird in reverse. It doesn't even feel like the same track through there. Obviously it is the same track, but I don't know, it feels very strange to do this track in reverse. It all just looks so unfamiliar. But anyway, into the tunnel now in 5th position. So we'll be gaining on the podium places very, very shortly, as we'll have to watch out for this right-hander coming up, because it's a very different beast in this direction, entering at a much higher speed than in the regular configuration of this circuit, and immediately making more contact as soon as we see another car, and we make the move up into 4th position, and very shortly we'll be trying to do the same thing up into 3rd. We don't quite get alongside. More contact made as we now move around the outside into 3rd position, and we get that done, and now 2nd place is right in front of us as we have a little sneak to the inside, and we'll get that done and move ourselves up into 2nd. Just the race leader to go, and they have a bit of a gap to us, so we're going to have to work hard to chase them down over the rest of this race. Not too much, so I think we can certainly do it, and in fact the straight line speed here is doing a lot of the work for us already, as we're gaining significant ground. Late on the brakes, we have a look to the inside, we can't quite get there, and the race leader holds on in a Dodge Viper. Very nice car. I'll have to grab one of those whenever they become available. They probably already are, but the older ones potentially not. But anyway, we've got the race lead now, so let's just move on to the end of the race, and we will come across the line to win the 2nd Tri-Mountain Cup race, and that will seal the championship for us as well. So that is job done there. It was getting very dark by the end of that race, almost fully nighttime, but championship over. We get another 20,000 credits for our efforts there, and that brings us up to 98,000 in total. Another trophy to add it to the trophy cabinet, another twisty trophy there, but anyway, that is that, and we get another random car prize. So which one will it be? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Sylvia, Fair Lady, or 180? It is the Sylvia, and that is awesome. I love Nissan Sylvias. So yeah, actually I just love any Nissans, to be honest. Anyway, cool. So that is now ours. We already have a Sylvia, don't we? Because I was taking a photo of it earlier. So, oh well, 2 Sylvias are better than 1, as they say. So back to the cafe. So now we can collect our rewards and such. But there is trophy once again. I think I've figured out why all the trophies have, or some of the trophies have, this kind of twisted shape with lots of different angles on them, is so the developers can show off their fancy lighting and reflections on the trophy. Maybe not, who knows, but it's just something I've noticed as it's spinning around here. You can see all the reflections sort of going up the side. But anyway, we have now unlocked the Fuji Speedway and Autopolis, so that is awesome stuff, and also legend cars as well, which is cool too. So we'll be checking those out soon. And by soon, I mean right now, as we have a look at what is in store at the moment. They're very expensive, these cars, but there is a 1956 Porsche, which I'm not too fussed about, to be honest. Same can be said for the car in the middle, the Ford Mark IV. It's a Ford. But the E-Type Jag, very cool. Also, one of the cheaper ones on offer. The Ferrari F50, also very cool. One of the more expensive ones on offer. And also there's the Alfa Romeo, but that is sold out, so we can't get that. But that is another car I would likely want to get at some stage. So yeah, nothing here I can really do at the moment, but I'll be sure to make use of some of these cars at some point. But back to the serious stuff. Once again, the next task is another collection of Nissan sports cars this time. So we need the Silvia Spec R Aero S15 from 2002. We also need the R32 Gtr V Spec 2 from 1994, as well as the Fairlady Z version S Z13 from 2007. So let's just go ahead and see what we need to do to get these cars. So the races we will be doing are the Japanese Clubman Cup 550 races, the first of which is at Fuji Speedway. We're going to drive our new Silvia K's, but we'll do some work to it before we get started. So we get underway for the Japanese Clubman Cup 550 race at Fuji Speedway, and I'll talk a little bit about the upgrades I've done to this car. It's mostly aero, along with brakes, tyres and a little bit of power, but mostly on the handling side. But anyway, I had to jump forward a bit there because I didn't quite realise the recording had ended in time there, so there was a bit of a sort of missing gap. But anyway, nonetheless we are making our way through the field. You didn't miss much, just one corner basically. But anyway, up into 9th position already in this one, so this car seeming pretty quick around this circuit is this Nissan Silvia. So let's hope that we can continue to make our way through the field as we go for a dive up the inside and make a bit of contact, and we don't actually quite get that move done as they go off into the grass there after that bit of contact, but they maintain the position. We have to slot in behind and sit and wait for another chance to get through. But yeah, trying a little bit too hard in a few spots around this circuit, and at the moment we're not quite gaining too many positions through the field in this second half of the lap. Never been a fan of the new layout. I say the new layout, it's been like this since like early to mid 2000s or something. I think this they made this layout of the circuit, but anyway, the original Fuji Speedway was much nicer. But nonetheless, we will push on and see if we can make our way through the field. We're up into 8th position as things stand, so making all right progress on the first lap. It's a 3-lap race, this one, so we have a little bit more time on our side than the previous ones to get through the field, but we don't want to be wasting too much because time always runs out. So now focusing on the cars ahead. They are fighting each other. That's helping us close up as we run into the back of one of them. But we'll recompose ourselves and go again as we head towards turn 2. They're not fighting this time, so maybe we'll be able to find some space as we go around the outside. No, can't quite get there, and more contact is made. But yeah, we definitely have the cornering pace over these guys. We just need to find places to make clean moves, and there's a nice one, and that clearly shows how much cornering speed we can carry in comparison, even though I think we're actually slower in a straight line than some of the other cars in this race. The cornering speed more than makes up for it. So yeah, that is good. We're up into 5th position now, so making decent progress through the field at the moment, with 4 cars left in front of us. So let's see if we can chase them down over the rest of the race. Go for a big dive up the inside, and we get it done. We move ourselves up and into 4th, and 3rd place right in front of us. So almost on the podium in this one, but the race leaders further away. So that's going to be a challenge to get all out to first, but we'll see what we can do as we still are chasing down the 3rd place runner. Let's see if we can sneak through on the inside. Bit of contact made, bump them wide, but nonetheless we get the job down. Now we have a clear view at the race leaders. They're not actually too far ahead, and we should be able to catch them on this final lap. So let's see what we can do. We move on then to turn 2, and you can see carrying a lot of speed through there and getting a nice exit. We'll sneak up the inside and take 2nd position there, with just the race leader further up the road, about to tip it into the left-hander. So a bit of gap to make up to the leader in the second half of this lap. So let's see what we can do. It's a decent sized gap, but we may just be able to do it if we drive well. So let's hope that we can gain the time versus the car in front as we now head into the final section, the trickiest part of the circuit. So we need to make sure we get through here cleanly, gaining a lot of time there in the braking zone, and now on the exit gaining more. So maybe we'll have a chance here. We need to go for a dive at some point soon though. So let's see as we have a look to the outside, going deep there, and we can't get the move done. So we'll now need to focus our attention to the inside line here. We make the space on the inside and we'll make a stick as we take that position, force them wide, and move ourselves up and into the lead. Now the challenge is we need to make a gap on this final corner because we do not have straight line speed on our side. So we have a very straight exit, maybe not the fastest line, but hopefully we will have enough to hold on. It's a long run to the finish here at Fuji Speedway, and there's not going to be a lot we can do to defend other than just park the bus right in front of them, which we have to do there. But now they've gotten alongside, we can't defend anymore. They've got the straight line speed, but we just get to the line in front and we will win the race here in Fuji, and we'll just about get that done. But yeah, we needed some defensive driving on the run to the line, but thankfully we were able to get away with it and take the win here. And that was a much closer race than what we've had so far throughout this video. But anyway, that is that race done, and here is the car we get for it, the R32. So let's move on and collect the rest. So the second race is at the Tokyo Expressway. Very cool track, but not one I have been getting along well with so far. Let's see if we can somewhat learn this track today. Doesn't seem like it, we've already hit the wall, but nonetheless we will continue on and try and make our way through the field here. Like we already sort of been through, this is a fairly decent car overall, so we should be able to make our way through this field relatively easily, I should imagine, I should hope. Anyway, but anyway, we go down the inside. Anyway, I should stop saying anyway, as we anyway go up and run into the back of the skyline anyway. As we, no, this is getting stupid now. But anyway, oh god, it's just automatic. I can't stop. Oh goodness. Don't say the word. Let's continue. P9 at the moment as we are part way through the opening lap, so making a decent enough start. Let's see if we can turn that into 8th position. We are gaining fairly rapidly on the next car, so we'll get around the outside here just about, and we don't even hit a wall. How about that? And this is quite a sketchy part of the track in a low grip car. Thankfully this car feels pretty decent. We just scraped the wall a bit there, but it's all good. And we get through and up into 7th position, so yeah, getting through the field quite rapidly as we're now closing up to the top half. 6th place right in front of us, bit of a slide on the exit there costing us a bit of momentum, but we will press on. So we've made decent progress on the first lap so far, still a bit of time before we start the second, and then we still have the final lap, so we have plenty of time left in this race to gain the rest of these positions, so hopefully it won't be too difficult as we go around the outside. Bit of contact, but we'll get through. That's a very sketchy corner as well, but we made it through on that occasion and move ourselves up into the top half of the field. Big collision with the wall there as we now focus our attentions to the top 5 and the podium places further up. So that is lap 1 in the books, 2 to go. So I imagine there'll be plenty of time, but of course the cars, the rival cars get faster towards the front of the field, so it doesn't always play out exactly how you would imagine. But anyway, I've done it again. I've said it, I've said the word. Continuing on, blinding sun straight in front of us at the moment, so the sun coming up here in Tokyo as we continue to race in the land of the rising sun, and now closing up to, well, actually 4 cars here, and we'll grab 1 position, 2 positions, and 3 and 4 and 5 actually. They're all right in front of us. We'll all come very quickly, I think, here as we chase down the old Toyota AE86 right in front of us, giving them a little bit of a nudge, and we find our way through and move ourselves up and into 3rd position, and the race leader is right there, so we just need to wait for another sharp corner, because we don't seem to have the straight line speed versus these guys, as we have a brush with the wall there. I'm not sure what that was about, but anyway, yeah, we are within striking range, so we just need to wait for an opportunity, and there is one, as we carry so much more speed through the kink in the road there, pushing them through, and now into the braking zone. We are a little bit early on the brakes. They go very deep. We certainly didn't force them to do that, definitely not, but we've got the job done, into the lead now, so we'll just move on to the end of the race. And now we cross the line to win the 2nd race in the Japanese Clubman Cup 550, and that is a job done there, and that will be another car for us as we skim through all the menus. I believe this one was for the Nissan Silvia, and there it is, another Nissan Silvia. Well, you know what they say, 3 Silvias are better than 2. So we get underway for the final race, which is at Autopolis, and this one, Autopolis, a very complex track, more so than the last 2, so this one may be a little trickier, but anyway, we immediately gain a place up into 11th position, and we'll try and chase down the top 10 throughout the course of this lap. Once again, it's a 3-lap race, so this one will be quite a long one, because Autopolis is, well, looks to be a relatively long circuit, as we go around the outside and move ourselves up and into 10th. Dive up the inside, bit of grass, and that's going to send us wide out off the exit, and now we'll drop those 2 positions once again back into 11th. Very surprised we didn't drop to 12th actually, with all of that time loss there. But anyway, we remain in 11th position, and we need to refocus our attentions and make sure we don't make too many more mistakes. Bit of a learning experience on this circuit, not one I'm terribly familiar with at this stage, but anyway, dive up the inside, and we actually don't end up making that move. We sit in behind, but you can see the extra cornering speed we have, so it's we definitely have the pace in this car. We just need to make use of it, as we now have a look up the inside once again, late on the brakes this time, and we get the job done, and up into 9th position at the moment, and rapidly closing up to 8th at AE86, lacking a bit of pace through the corners there, as are a lot of the cars around us compared to our car. So yeah, we just have really great cornering speed, probably down to the tyres more than anything, but anyway, it's very, very beneficial to us, it seems, around this circuit, which as you can see on the map, there are plenty of corners for us to take advantage of. But anyway, now we've moved ourselves up into 6th position already, so gaining a lot of positions in the early phases of this one by the end of the first lap. So let's see if we can continue this march forward and get to the lead by the time we finish this race. Like I said, it's a 3-lap race, so we do have plenty of time. We're roughly on the same kind of pace and progress through the field that we were in the Tokyo Expressway race, so that is good. But anyway, up the inside now, and we'll gain 2 places for 1 here. Same corner as we ran wide before, we almost do it again, and we lose out almost on one of those positions. We'll just about hold on though, and maintain that one, and we've gotten ourselves up and into 4th, with the next car not far ahead. So the podium quite close here, as we can see them right up the road, and in fact 2nd place not too far ahead of them either. So we have a look around the outside. Now we go to the inside, and we'll get them on the exit with the switchback there. 2nd place now is the target, and like I said, they're not too far ahead, so we should catch them in the next few corners. So we just need to make sure we don't make any mistakes through here, and gain that time versus the 2 cars ahead of us. But as you can see, They're much faster than the cars at the back of the field, so it will take a little longer to catch them, but we will get there eventually as we gain a decent chunk of time through these right-handers. It's these sort of medium speed corners where we seem to gain the most, where the tyre grip really helps us, and that's an easy move up in second place. But the race leader has a fairly sizable gap to us, so actually no, they're not too far ahead. I was going to say we'll cut forward, but we probably don't really need to too much because we've already gained most of that time by the time I finished blabbering on about all that. So now as we close up to the back of the race leader, let's see what we can do here as we head on to the main straight once again and ready ourselves for the final lap. We need to get past early on because you can see the straight lane speed advantage they have. We don't want them to be anywhere near us by the time we enter the straight for the final time. Otherwise they could go blazing past like they almost did back at Fuji. So we'll have to be careful of that as we look to make a move somewhere around this lap. We're a long way behind at the moment, so not having a great start to this lap, going very deep. Sorry about the alarm there. Going very deep there, so not gaining the time we really should be. So we need to make sure we don't make any mistakes here. Now we'll make the move up the inside and we'll get the job done into the right-hander, and we will move ourselves ahead, but a bad exit, so that might cost us the position, and it will. So we're still behind as we now a decent way through the final lap. We need to make a move somewhere. They have a lot better cornering speed than everyone else, so we can't really rely on that quite as much to get us ahead. So we need to be late on the brakes, and we need to make sure we still carry good speed through the corners. Look up the inside here, a bit of contact made, but we go very deep. A little bit of grass on the exit maybe, and we lose the position again. Great switchback by the AI car there, and again we don't make the move. So this is becoming a frustrating one. We need to make it stick somewhere, or we won't be winning this race. So let's see what we can do as we come around these long right-handers. This is where we've had good speed before, and once again that shows as we get a good exit, but nowhere to go. We force the gap up the inside, and this time we park it on the apex of the next corner, and we will not be losing the position now as we got that move done just in time as we're about to end the race in a few corners. So I got a bit lost there, not quite. I thought that was heading onto the main straight, but no, we have a little way to go. Yeah, getting a little bit ahead of myself, but now this section it looks kind of the same. But anyway, now we come on to the straight for the final time. They're nowhere near us. We cross the line to win the Autopolis Japanese Clubman Cup 550 race, and that was probably the trickiest one of them all. But Fuji was actually quite tricky, but yeah, definitely harder than the Tokyo Expressway one. But yeah, we got the job done, and we get the final car, which is the Fair Lady. Time for a wheel spin. Let's see. We have a 2-star roulette ticket to spend. That pile of money at the front looks very appealing, but we'll see if we get lucky. Of course we don't. Of course we don't. Alright then. Back to the cafe, and we'll finish this one off with Luca and see what rewards we get for this, and see what we can learn about these 3 cars. And we get Bathurst Mount Panorama Circuit. Awesome. Home track. Oh, and also we get the Kyoto Driving Park, which is also a track I really like. But anyway, there it is. Collection Nissan sports cars. The Nissan Z and the GTR. You might have heard of these cars before. These are legendary models loved by car fans all over the world. The Z33 is the 5th generation Nissan Z, and it's great in both styling and performance. The R32 Skyline Gtr is one of the great Japanese cars from the 1990s. It's truly a legend, having been unbeatable in top Japanese domestic touring car races. The Silvia is also a model that has been loved by countless fans over the years. Combining a powerful turbocharged engine with rear-wheel drive, it's also a popular choice for drifting. It's easy to see why Nissan sports cars have always been a mainstay of Japanese car culture. Well, I think that is going to do it for this one, so thank you all so much for watching all the way to the end, really appreciate it. Feel free to give me some feedback in the comments, it's always very helpful, but other than that, I will see you next time. Goodbye.